Welcome to Repair Shop Reckoning, from chaos to control. Because too many shops today are running on chaos. Phones ringing, technicians frustrated, front counters overwhelmed, owners buried in problems with nobody to call. Kevin Brown has spent over 30 years in the trenches, learning how to take that chaos and turn it into control. Shop owner, operator, consultant, leader. Through industry shifts, insurance games, bad hires, great hires, and lessons learned the hard way, this isn't theory. This isn't corporate training fluff. This is real shop experience, unfiltered. On this show, Kevin breaks down what actually works: running profitable shops, front counter control, training technicians, negotiating with insurance companies, building systems that make your shop run instead of burn, and the mistakes that quietly bankrupt shop owners every single day. No corporate scripts, no sugarcoating. And yeah, somebody might get offended. That's okay. Disney's 2 doors down. But if you want the truth about this industry, buckle up. This is Repair Shop Reckoning, from chaos to control. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Repair Shop Reckoning, from chaos to control. So I'll start out with the update on the Progressive. I don't think, did we put the clips out? Maybe we should start putting the clips out.
Yep.
Remember at the very beginning of the last week?
Yep.
So remember, for the people who didn't hear the podcast, Progressive, basically we stopped giving receipts a while ago. They call, we're not giving you receipts. If your bill is, if our estimate is 5,000, insurance says they'll pay 3,000. Customer, we call them up, you owe 2,000. We had a customer all ready to go. We said, hey, they did a terrible sheet on your motorhome. So basically it's going to cost you $2,000 with your deductible of $500. So $1,500 more on top of what they gave you, plus your $500 deductible, you owe $2,000. Okay. Send it to him. Had the phone calls recorded, approved. Yes, sir, I understand. At first, he was apprehensive, wanted to take it maybe the RV dealer. They said, we'll have it done in October. So he's like, fuck it, I'll get it done now. So This is going to actually lead into today's episode. So he called up and he said, I called the insurance adjuster. His name's Danny. I called Danny and he says, I won't have to pay a dime more. So he short-circuited what we said. Jim says, well, you agreed to it, sir. So you are going to have to pay if the insurance company doesn't come and pay more. So he hung up on us. Rude old man. Whatever. He's upset. So we get all done. Call the customer. Hey, motorhome's all done. To come to pick it up. The insurance company call you? No, we're not talking to the insurance company. You got the money. You agreed to the rest. Well, Danny said that I don't have to pay anymore. I said, well, Danny doesn't decide. Danny from Progressive doesn't decide what you pay or what you do not pay at our shop. You agreed to pay the difference, and that's what's going to happen. Or they are. Somebody's paying it. A few minutes later, the phone rings. It's Danny. Hey, buddy. How you talking to Jim? Hey, buddy, what do we got going on here? Jim's like, well, this is what's going on. And he's like, well, just send over the receipts. Danny, we're not sending you over the receipts. We already told you this. We're not sending you over the receipts. We'll send you over how much more it is, but we're not, from now on, we're not, we've really been good for you. We really have a good relationship. Jim's like, this is the third job we've done, and every one has been, you chisel us. You tell us what you're going to do. Now this one, we're telling you what we're going to do and what you're going to do. Can you help me out on this one? Nope, sure can't, Danny. We already had the stage set. The guy agreed to pay the difference, and you opened your mouth and short-circuited the whole thing.
Yep.
Well, you really put me in a bind. Well, that would be your fucking problem, not ours. But the bottom line is you owe $2,000. It was like 19 and some change. So we don't hear nothing for a couple of days. The old man calls. This is taking forever. Well, sir, I don't know what to tell you. Hangs up again. Rude old fucking prick. Hangs up again. We're like, whatever. So Monday, Danny calls and says, we're going to go ahead and do this as a one-time courtesy. Well, this isn't a one-time courtesy. You can be courteous however you want to spin it.
Whatever makes you sleep at night.
Whatever thinks you sleep at night. The bottom line is you're paying. So there's a check in the mail. So after this old man has yelled and screamed at my people several times, and that was only the 2 I just talked about, but this guy's been a complete asshole to my people, I think 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim. This will be good. Come here for a minute. I'm talking about Danny Boy's customer that keeps hanging up on you guys. That's rude to you. Was he 4 or 5 times rude to you guys during this whole process? I know 2 towards the end, right? 2 to you and 2 to Jake for me. Keeps hanging up on us.
He said, that's not, oh, this isn't good. He said, oh, this isn't good. I'm ready
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm getting right into that point. But I wanted to go ahead and put a little bit skin in here with you actually, not me just in here running my mouth going, oh, he did this. And
no,
he's a rude old prick. Okay, good. Thank you, sir. Yeah. So, after all this, this fucking guy leaves a voicemail. Hey, guys, I'd really appreciate it if you guys would do me a huge favor. If you would go ahead and fill up all my tires on my motorhome to 70 PSI. And, you know, I understand it's difficult because of the wheel simulators and all that stuff, but, you know, I would be, you know, thank you very much. You know what? When I heard that voicemail, you know what I told my guys? Don't you fucking touch them tires. So this leads into today's conversation. The customer's not always right. And I believe a lot of shop owners are so scared of that 1-star review that they will freaking throw their people under the bus.
Mhm.
They have no balls. We have corporate America, bitch, complain, threaten a bad review, and get a gift card. Fuck that. You people need to stand up to these customers and go, you know what? You're acting like an asshole. Leave and don't come back. You're not our guy. So I kind of did a whole list of stuff once again that I'm going to go through just so I could remember what I'm talking about. But that man abused my staff. Then he wants me to do him a favor.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
What were you going to say? I cut you off.
No, you're good. I was gonna say when you said remember, do part of you, whenever you say remember, do you think of the guy with the with the beard, the
guy with the pubic hair beard?
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Since that guy teased me about saying member instead of remember, I've watched people. That must be a Michigan thing.
Yeah, it's gotta
A
be.
lot of people say that.
Yeah.
My wife says it.
Yeah.
Lincoln says it.
Yep.
It's kind of interesting.
I hear it all the time, and it's in my thinking. So whenever you say remember, I can see that guy's face. But it's not just you. Whenever I hear other people say remember, because it's a Michigan thing.
Yeah,
So many people say it.
Member, right?
Yeah, remember. Yeah.
Whatever.
He's like trying to flame you on the way you pronounce remember. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and he's sitting there stroking his little gnome beard, his little pubic hair beard, like I give a shit what he
So
has
over
to
the
say.
side, you just said remember and laughed, and it made me think of the guy.
Yeah, like it is so funny these guys that like try to I don't even care.
No,
You know?
it's just funny.
It really is. So, you know, for decades we've heard, what have we heard? The customer's always right. I don't know. There's enough people out there in the world to find your right
for
kind
sure.
of customer.
Absolutely.
The problem is this always goes back to these fucking shop owners are broke or these business owners are broke. So they kiss everybody's ass to try to get that dollar because they think, oh my God, if I just sell 5 more bagels or do more oil changes or do whatever, my money probably is going to be gone when your fucking numbers are not correct. And, you know, I wanted to clarify something that Shane said to me yesterday when we were talking about, we went over our marketing and stuff. He said, you need to broaden your horizons. Because what you talk is like Dave Ramsey or anything. You talk about financial, pretty much every business. The stuff you talk about could be applied to any
absolutely, yeah.
business.
Yeah.
He's like, so if you branched out, you could probably freaking do repair shop reckonings of restaurants. I don't know if I want to get into all that, but the bottom line is money's money.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yep.
the numbers don't lie.
Yep.
Okay. If these restaurants aren't making money, like you were talking about that restaurant that rebranded, they had all this money to rebrand. They rebrand and go out of business. It's kind of no different than, you ever notice people that go bankrupt? They always have the money, the $2,500 or whatever it is costs to pay the bankruptcy attorney. They can't pay their fucking car payment or this or that, but they come up with $2,500 to pay the bankruptcy attorney.
Yeah.
Okay. Discipline gets you. Doing the same thing over and over again with money is how you get money to control itself, and you're financially stable. But anyway,
Man, and talking about like target clients, it would suck to be a bankruptcy lawyer. Like that's all the people you're talking about and dealing with all day. And then you have to charge $2,500 and you're like, can they pay that? You know,
Yeah.
they're going to pay it because like, that's the only reason they need it.
Yeah, exactly. So today we're going to be here. We're going to do a reckoning. I'm here to tell you the customer's not always right at my shop. And I don't think the customer should be right at your shops. But a lot of you guys are little bitches and you're scared of your customers and you let your customers control you because you're broke. So when you're broke, you don't have options. You can't look at a customer and go, I don't want to do this job. Take it on down the road. So a lot of people are afraid to push back at the customers. I just literally had a guy that with his trailer out there before I walked in the studio. I'm here working today because I got 2 guys out sick, and his estimate was replace 1 spindle, repack, and replace all the bearings and seals on the other 3 spindles. I don't want to do that. I just want to replace the spindle. This is how we got here, sir. Lack of maintenance because you're cheap, broke, whatever. I'm 81 years old. I take the boat down the 4 miles down the road. Okay, great, but all your bearings are rusty. Okay, if I put a spindle on it and fix the one, you still have 3 that are bad. I'm doing you a disservice. You just want to sell me over $1,000 worth of repairs. My word track was this. No, sir, you brought your boat here for professional opinion. I disassembled it with a checkout fee. I told you these are the parts that failed. These are the things that need to be fixed to make the trailer safe and workable to drive back and forth. If I just put 1 spindle on because you're telling me to, and you went down the road and your other wheel fell off, you would go around telling everybody I ripped you off. So I'm here to tell you I don't need your money. I don't want your money. If you think for 1 minute that you're going to tell me I'm going to put 1 spindle on this thing because I want your money that bad, you're wrong. I could care less if you take this thing and throw it in the river, junkyard, whatever you want to do to it. Okay? But it's not even going to make it home if I put 1 spindle on it. You're not seeming to understand why I don't want to put that much money into it. I don't know what to tell you. So we go back and forth, and he's like, well, you're going to charge me $199 to put the other wheels back on it and stuff like that. Yeah, we had to fight them all off, and we're going to put them back on. You're not even going to make it out of my parking lot. Well, what would you do for me? I said, how about I take $199 off? You charge me I'll charge you the $452 or whatever for all new bearing kits and the labor to put it back together. And that gave you a $199 discount and it made his bill go up $456. So really, he went up $200. And he was like, absolutely, I'll do it.
And he thanked you for it. So
and he thanked me for it. So I don't, but if I would have backed up and let him boss me around, what would they have gone? Oh man, I'm so fucking broke. The payroll's due tomorrow. I need that $756 instead of the $1,351 he spent.
Yep.
Fuck it. We'll put it together. Okay, Bob, go ahead and just do this. And you know what? Do the 1 spindle and just pound them bearings back on. The guy doesn't even make it out in your parking lot. You know that review you're scared of because you're a bitch? You just got the bad review because you're scared. You're broke. You see the whole line here?
Yep.
And it all goes back to what? You don't know your numbers. You're not pricing your stuff right. You're broke. So it leads you into being scared to push back on the customer, which you don't push back on the customer. That leads to a 1 star. Your whole shit show. It's like a set of stairs. You're at the top of the stairs and the customer, you just push the customer and off he goes because you're scared to fight back.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? You guys sit there and say, you're the best shop around. You'll do this and you'll do that, right up to the point where somebody pushes back on you. You go get the boss, and the boss lays down like a little fucking cat. It's okay. It's okay. Let me give you a discount. My service advisor's snippy with you. Oh, I'm sorry. I need your money because I'm a bitch. That's literally what it all amounts to. Okay? Now, there's guys, I'm sure, on the other side of the spectrum, the guy's like, hi, how you doing? He's like, fuck you, get out of my shop. You're next, I don't like you. I'm sure there's guys out there like that.
Yeah.
But this ain't what this is about. We're talking about is the customer's always right. Kissing ass gets you nowhere.
Well, you are confident and convicted in your recommendation. This is not safe for you to drive. And like, you're not telling him anything that's like, he should be offended by. You're telling him this is flat out and you don't need his money. Take your thing. Go get it fixed shitty somewhere else. Like, die. Like,
yeah. But the whole fucking world's offended.
Yeah.
You could wave at somebody and they don't like the way you held your mouth and you offend them.
Oh, man.
Okay, I had a lady come in last week and I was walking by the window at Garrett's. And when you walk in, I walk in there, I look over at the window and there's a lady up there. She's flailing her arms. She's got red hair and pink hair and all these different hair. And she just looks like a fucking disaster. So I go walking by and it automatically caught my eye the way her body language was. And she was pointing to Phil, and Lincoln's leaning back in the chair like, oh, God. So I'm like, whatever. I need to stay out of it. So I go sit in my office, and I have to go up front for something. I go up there, and she's bitching about this other shop down the street. They deleted her Sprinter, and I ignore it. And I walk back up there, and I can see Phil starting to get a little bit aggravated. And Lincoln, I'm like, this is not going well. So I don't say nothing. I'm digging through the cashier to get petty cash. I don't know what I was doing. Whatever, receipts or something in petty cash. So I look up, and she locks eyes with me. I'm like, fuck. So Lincoln goes, this is my dad. He's the boss, being a smart ass. I'm like, you fucker. So he drugged me into the process. And like, Phil's like, tell her your story. Well, I live in my Sprinter.
Oh, no.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, is it camper? She's like, no, it's an old ambulance. I travel around, and I'm like, oh, and it's got a ton of miles on it. I don't even remember the miles. Like, it's got over 200,000 on it. And anybody knows about Sprinters, it's a piece of, Sprinters are horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, and she's like, yeah. So I took her to this shop down the street, and I didn't even know this shop even existed. He's like, they deleted it. And I'm like, they deleted it? She's like, yeah. She's like, it wouldn't start when I went to pick it up. It had a longer crank. Now today it won't start at all. I'm like, oh, what did they say? Well, the guy kind of went off at me and told me to get out of his shop. He wouldn't help me. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, wonder why. So we're talking, and I start asking her questions, and I'm like, okay, what did they do? Did they take all the parts off and delete it? Did they do this? And she couldn't answer it, and she's just going back and forth. And the story is just getting longer. When I would ask her a question, it would be a different answer to the same question. It was almost like an interrogation. I was asking her the same questions, but in different formats. And she's just full of shit. Finally, it started to get heated, and I'm like, listen, they have you written up for 2 hours here. I'm here to tell you you're wasting your money with us. We're not going to be able to talk to it. I don't know what tune he put on it. You said he deleted it. I said, how about this? You figure out how to go back to him with your hat in your hand, and you have him deal with it. But I said, because you giving us $400 some to do this is not worth it. You don't want my money. It's not that I don't want your money. I said, but I would be doing you a disservice. I would plug it into you, charge you $400 to look at it and go, I don't know what to tell you. Be like, you did nothing. I don't want to pay you. And it's just going to be a mess because I'm not going to be able to do nothing. These Sprinters are funky anyway. So I don't know what to tell you. So now she gets agitated. She goes, well, I guess I'll go just fuck myself.
Oh, no.
And I'm like,
just not in the parking lot, please.
I'm like, what? She's like, I guess I'll just go fuck myself. Because that's what you're pretty much telling me to. And I'm like, no, man, I'm trying to tell you, I don't want to take your money. I said, so I think it's time for you to leave. Fine, I'll leave. I'll just go fuck myself. Says it the third time. And it happened to me, my insurance agent's walking in because we were doing an audit on my insurance to go through. He like walks and she's out there. And my wife comes walking in behind me. She goes, very good. And I'm like, what? She's like, you had 101 things to say when she said that, and you did not even say a word. I said, sometimes it's just better to let them walk out.
Yeah.
So if I was broke, we were a little bit slow, payroll's due, and I had that lady come in, what do you think I would have did?
You would take her $400 and yeah.
And I would have bought myself a friend.
Yeah.
I would have had a big fight. We would have had to go back and forth. I would have been married to the thing. She's clearly had no money.
Yeah.
I would have got bad reviews, how horrible I am. And she's a poor single lady that lives in her bus. And here comes a big bad repair shop to take advantage of her, blah, 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 blah. So, in that particular case, I did the right thing in my mind. I didn't take her money, and I still got nailed for it. I had another one last week, that this truck comes in from California. The roof is ripped off. There's duct tape hanging on it. The truck won't start. The truck smells like ass inside. You open the doors. We sent the guy a 2-hour checkout, and the tow truck put it way over in the other alley, so it's going to take like a half an hour for us to drag it in with the forklift to work on, because I don't let my guys work outside because people drive around there too fast. If their legs are sticking out, I don't want them ran over. So the rule is, our policy, you don't work in the parking lot. Obviously, if it's a stand-up where you have to just jump something, okay, but otherwise it goes in the building where it's safe for the mechanics to work.
Yeah.
So we charge an hour labor for that, which is 2 guys for a half an hour, right? Half an hour, so 2 guys, and because it takes a half hour, so 2 guys times, I just make sure I say this out loud, it ends up being an hour.
Yep.
They call, you charging us $185, which our labor rate is $217, but for that, we charge the maintenance rate. You charging us that? Well, man, we got to put 2 guys. I'm in the wrong motherfucking business. And Lincoln and them guys don't really know what to say. They're not the word track is me. I
Yeah,
was like, you're actually in the right business, man, but you don't know how to run your business. That way your fucking truck is broke. It's from California. It's got 6 ball tires on it, duct tape holding the roof on. Hasn't had a DOT since Reagan was in office. Your driver, since we looked it up, just got out of jail after a 12-year stint for he went into one time for grand theft or breaking and entering. Then another time he went back in for extortion, an old lady. He does not have a CDL, all this shit. So they're like going off on us, give us this bad review that we tried to charge him $50 a day storage, which we charge $50 a day storage after the 7th day when you don't pick something up to kind of boost people into picking stuff up. So he gets this 1-star review, and we never even did anything. This guy didn't like our price. We got 2 hours for a diag on a diesel, which was a max force, which is not a lot of time. When anybody knows a freaking max force engine, they're a pain in the ass. And an hour to get it in, which is technically a half hour, 2 guys, to drag it in because the tow truck puts it bumfuck Egypt. We have to tow it all the way down the alley with the forklifts, all the way around, 2 guys, and jockey it into the building. It's a 26-foot box truck. This just doesn't happen. So it takes time. So they were mad about it. They got 1-star review. The guys are like, oh my God, what? I'm like, who cares? Just answer it back and fuck them. Like, we're going to get 1-star reviews. And anybody who's going to look at that, they're going to be like, okay, whatever.
When you're talking a few minutes ago, it just reminded me of like a drunk at the bar. And sometimes like the bartender's got to cut that person off for their own safety or for their own good, and that person's going to be pissed and going to be mad. But sometimes as a professional, you know what's best, and you've got to get the customer out the door.
Yeah, a lot of these shops I've heard over the years are like, a lot of the tire shops, you can't take this vehicle out, it's dangerous. We can't let you take it. Well, you're not the police. You cannot stop somebody from taking their vehicle. Years and years ago, a lady brought her Granada in. So that's how many years ago this was. And she never changed the oil on it. We took the valve covers off it, and it still had the imprints of Ford in the sludge.
Oh, man.
She wouldn't let us do it. She picked it up. She drove it down the street. It caught on fire at the light right there at 10 Mile and Grand River. They sued us. We went to court, and Steve Garrett went up, and he said, what happened? And Steve laid out the whole thing, and he said, do you have your badge and your handcuffs with you? Steve's like, what are you talking about? The judge looked at it and said, you're not a police officer. Ma'am, he's not a police officer. He told you you weren't taking care of your car. You chose to take it out of there. The car caught on fire. That's not on him. He can't hold your car hostage.
Yeah.
And we won. That was years and years ago. I don't know how today's world, the new world, it would work. But, if something's dangerous, we write a disclaimer. Customer declined it, and we make them sign it. That's the only thing we can do.
Why even get in that mess and that battle of trying to hold their car hostage?
I don't, that's the thing. Like, you're going to get these guys that they spend all their money on everything else besides fixing their vehicle. It just happens, right? Yep. But that always goes back to, we as an industry, we've discounted. We've done inspections for free. We've done free estimates. We've done free diag. We've done all this. And what we've done as shops is discredited what we do. Do you see doctors, chiropractors, dentists, anybody going, come on in, we're going to go ahead and give you a free teeth cleaning?
Nope.
They don't fucking do it. They know their value.
Yep.
They know that, okay, the industry with them is you go to college, you get out of college, you have a big note to pay. It's never even been in a consideration in all the years to do anything for free, so they never have because they've never started. Okay? I'd be willing to bet you at one time they would do the insurance write-off in the medical field sometime or another. Now they say, hey, you have balance billing, they call it. My wife informed me they call it balance billing. Hey, your procedure is going to cost $1,900. Your insurance company pays $900. How do you want to pay that $1,000? That is something that's changed in the last couple of years. Think about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because before they would just bill you.
Yeah.
Well, nobody was fucking paying them.
Bills. Yeah.
So now they're like, how do you want to do it? Now they're like, if you pay cash, we'll give you a bigger discount.
Yeah.
So now I notice, like, when you go to, and I talked to us about this before, and my wife goes get a procedure, they're like, they want to get paid before we go in.
Yep.
And if you don't have the money now, they say, well, we're going to have to reschedule you when you get the money. So they've stopped doing that. But here we are having these shitty shop owners doing stuff for free. And we have people coming in all the time for free. We had a guy yesterday come into Motor City. Here's another story. I'm going to tell a lot of stories during this thing just so people understand what's going on. Guy has dual propane tanks on the front of his travel trailer that he rents out. One's leaking. He calls up, hey, this thing's got to go out Friday. It's a rental. Do you guys think you can repair the propane web? Yeah, we have them in stock. Shouldn't be a problem. Okay, I'll stop by. Stop by and drop it off. I'll just stop by and drop it off. Okay. Fucker never heard. He's going to stop by. He stops by. Pat happens to be up front. The thing's leaking. He wants Pat to get a wrench and go out there for free and start fucking with it. Jim's like, no, you can drop it off. We'll get it checked out. Fuck it. I just won't then. I'll just have him use one propane tank. When we were going to spend our money and our time doing it, he had all the time in the world. When it was going to cost him a nickel, he was going to he was out.
Wow.
That just goes to show you once again, what was he worried about? The money, because he doesn't have any.
Yep.
And guess what? He is not. He's not your customer. You guys might think I'm an arrogant dick and stuff like that, but I guarantee you one thing is the guy who's going to be freaking in the cheering session, rah, with their pom-poms, is the flat rate guys. Because guys like me, when my guys were on flat rate, weren't getting screwed.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't doing shit for free. If you didn't have a diag on it, you weren't allowed, the policy was you weren't allowed to fucking touch it. And it still is hourly. We're not doing this shit for free. But a lot of these shop owners, once again, they go back to the fact they're broke. So the customer's always right. We need to do this. We need to do that. I mean, do you have any stories where the freaking people bend over? You're in the cell phone business. My God. Everybody wants a free cell phone.
We'd have people that say if their cell phone went out, like coverage went down, that they would literally refuse to leave our building, like until we got up on our poles and fixed the shit. That's how like ignorant people are sometimes with their shit.
Think about this. You have a problem and you walk into it. You have a problem. You walk into a shop and you want to take a guy out who's talented and everything. You want him to come outside with his tools, his knowledge, whatever he has to do with scan tool, his test light, whatever, tell you your problem. Then if you decide to hire him because you like his price at that point, he could charge you. Tell me what's wrong with that fucking picture. And that's what a lot of these shop owners do. You walk outside with these guys and they're fucking broke. The reason how you can tell they're broke, they're asking you to come out and look at it right there. They're not coming. How many people come when they come into your shop and go, hey, I'm really in a pickle. I have no problem paying you an hour labor right now to talk to your guy or walk out there. I guarantee you, I don't think I've ever had anybody go, I'll pay you for your time, an hour for your time.
Yeah.
To come out and look like this.
Yep. No, they just want you to come out and look at it real quick and tell them what's wrong.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So they can go do it. Or they went to I had O'Reilly's driver come in yesterday. Number 6 injector was bad on a 6.7. Yeah, I plugged our scanner into it at the store. I said, okay. He said, yeah, it needs a number 6 injector. Will you put it in? No. Why? It needs a number 6 injector. So you're that guy that thinks that the scan tool says number 6 misfire. It's an injector, so we can just go ahead and put an injector in it and fix it. Then when it doesn't fix it, you're going to be mad at me. So what we're going to do is we need to re-diag it. Well, I don't need you to diag it. Well, I'm not working on it then. If I can't diag it, I'm not working on it. Oh, did you look up the kit? Does it come with a line? I'm asking, does it come with a line? Why would it come with a line? Because they're one-time use lines on a 6.7. He didn't even know that. He's going to walk in with a fucking injector, probably out of the bag that was rolling around on the floor of his truck. Go, well, you put it in, then it doesn't fix it. Well, you did something. I didn't fucking do nothing. It still has a misfire number 6 like it did when it came in. But you told me. But we've always discounted it because we're broke. A lot of these shop owners are broke. Yeah, I'll put it in for you. Fuck it. I'll write it up like these guys. I'll write a disclaimer up, man. I fucking write a disclaimer up. Yeah, I'll put your fucking injector in. If it goes bad or it's bad when it goes in, you got to pay me again, bro. I'm a lawyer. That's what a lot of these assholes say online. I'll put a customer's part in. I just write a disclaimer. You're a fucking lawyer?
Yeah,
ChatGPT knows it's even not a fucking lawyer. ChatGPT always starts out goes, I'm not a fucking lawyer. But a lot of these guys are like, yeah, I'll just fucking write up a disclaimer and they'll sign it and I'll be good. Oh, okay, buddy. See how your disclaimer, because half you fucking people can't even spell it right. People in our trade, me included, were not the best spellers. We would never win a spelling bee. We're mechanics. Like, you know what I mean? Or tech. So, so we've talked to customers, that our knowledge has no value. We get pushed around. They've discredited us. we kissed their ass, you know. We were so worried about them going down the street. Kind of like we were talking about last week. When you're slow, you don't have to get new customers. You just have to get your competition's customers by your marketing.
Yeah.
There's plenty of customers to go around. So they might get along just fine at the other shop down the street, might not get along great with you. It is what it is. You're going to lose customers. And what you end up finding is it's kind of like your friends over the years. The ones that you kind of are like-minded with, you stick with them. You guys kind of stick together. Once you really are, you grow apart or whatever, people change political affiliations and everything like that. I mean, you could literally think about it in today's world. One of your techs can be out back wearing a freaking red hat, not even a MAGA hat, and they see a MAGA hat and they get all a red hat and they get all butthurt and they freaking leave and give you a 1-star review, and you don't even know what the fuck they give you a 1-star review. That's how catty people are nowadays.
Yep.
So you lost a customer, you don't even know why you lost a customer.
You don't even know why.
And they're like, oh my God, we're losing all kinds of customers. There's been weeks we had a couple customers that just act like assholes, and we kick them out. We just kick them out. We pretty much are pretty much under control as far as a lot of people don't get kicked out anymore, but we have a lot of stop loss in place, or stop guards, or whatever, gaps, or whatever you want to say in play. Our process is kind of weed them out. Hey, this is what's going to cost you right here. So if they're cheap, automatically we start going, it's going to cost you this. And then they're like, oh, then you're going to do a minimum of this. Oh, this. Oh, okay. Once we do this, once we get the approval, you give us the approval, we're going to need 50% down. Oh, so we kind of like narrow them in like cattle in a chute. You know what I'm saying? Because let's face facts here. We kind of came to the conclusion, like I said before, that if you can't pay half the bill, the deposit on you don't have the other half.
Yeah. What are you going to do between now and this time to cover the rest of it?
Right.
If you can't get the half.
Right. And customer service is a big deal, like I've said before, but your knowledge has value, your experience has value, your training has value. Okay, all the years you sit there and beat yourself up in them bays fixing stuff like that, and all the guys, like all their knowledge pooled together is, collective of 100 years, 50, whatever, right? That just didn't come easy.
Yep.
But we've discounted it with the free. That's why, it's almost like customers have gotten confused because there's so much free brake inspection. Like, you get these fucking piece of shit tire stores or brake stores are like, free brake inspection. Okay, let me tell you something. If the word says free, you better hold your ass. Because is there anything free in this world?
Well, and we keep on using the whole medical thing, and it just makes me laugh because I picture a customer coming into like a doctor and being like, "Ooh, that's a lot for that surgery. Like, I don't like that pricing. I'm going to leave you a 1-star review, or can we knock $500 off this?" Like, that just doesn't happen, and it's like funny to even think about it that way. So at what point did it become acceptable that like the auto repair industry has to feel bad for Mrs. McGillicuddy because her Volvo got broke and she doesn't have the money to fix it? You know what I mean? At what point did that become your burden?
No, you're right. And, Tree Service just called me a little bit ago. We have a truck here, and the bills to redo this truck's like $17,900. Hey, do you think you can, let's just go ahead and round it down to 15,000.
Let's just go ahead and round it down.
Yeah, that would be a fuck no. He's like, you said that quick. I'm like, I'm not discounting. I don't have the fucking kind of margins in it just to give fucking $3,000 away. All right, well, how about, I said, how about this? 0. Right? Oh, man, seriously, that's not that bad. I said, okay. So then I sent him the link because he wants to lock his place in for September and stuff like that. He calls me back. They want like $150 for use my credit card. I ain't fucking paying that. I go, it's just money. Didn't you just tell me that ago about the discount? He starts laughing. I go, no, seriously, you didn't give a shit. I was going to give you wanted $2,900 off. But you have to pay $150 more. All of a sudden, it's a big fucking deal. I go, guess what? He goes, why? I go, I don't want to fucking pay it either. That's why I asked you to pay it. If you don't want to pay it, that's cool. Fucking bring me cash or bring me a check. And when the check clears, we'll fucking talk. Well, you don't trust me? Nope, don't trust anybody. In today's world, everybody's shady. What would you do if somebody from the church walked in? Hold my fucking wallet, because I definitely trust them fucking people.
Bad example. Yeah.
It's like, people always use the religious thing over the years in your shop, hello, brother, can you give me I work at the church, can you give me a discount? No.
Number one red flag on hiring people: if they mention their religion, their father, their faith anywhere in their resume or their application, do not hire them. Do not even interview them. Don't waste your time. They're scammers.
Yeah, no shit, right? The most expensive customer, if you really stop and think about it, the customers that you have to constantly kiss their ass because you're scared of that one review and the customer's always right montage bullshit are the ones that drain all your resources. They're the ones that call 5 times a day. They're the ones that complain about the pricing. They're the ones that talk about the timeline. What about the warranty? What about this? They call just to say fucking hi, but they really want to know when their car's going to be done because they don't even. I've had customers literally that are a pain in the ass. We'll just say we'll sell them a 10-hour job. And they'll okay at noon. And they're like, call it 4. Is that car done? Or is that truck done? No. Well, why not? I approved it at noon. It's a 10-hour job. Like, they don't even have no concept. So them are the people that keep calling. They rile up your service advisors, everything else like this, because everybody's been trained that, if you bitch, you get something for free. Okay, I'm here to tell you, if you bitch at our shop and we mess something up, I'll be like, yeah, we did that, or we messed that up, and I'll own up to it. But if not, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, we're doing our best. It's not like we wake up in the morning and go, let's think Bob's coming today. Let's fuck Bob's day up. Let's raise Bob's car up on the hoist, call him up, tell him all his brakes are grinding because they are. Then let's drop the fucker. Let's drop the car off the fucking hoist. And let's video while we're doing it. How many of you people wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to fuck somebody's day up? You don't want to fuck. You want to go through your day just like everybody else wants to go there through the day, quietly. I do not want to sit there and deal with bullshit anymore. Like, as you get older, I don't know about you, I don't like fucking surprises. We talked about, we're in the surprise business. Surprise, I broke this part. And, the guy's supposed to be picking it up in a few minutes. So my point to that whole thing is, these customers that are always on your fucking nuts are usually the biggest problems. They're usually the ones that always give you the hardest time. They give you the baddest review. They always think they're right. They want you to do everything. They want you to hook them up, do this, do that, and all that. And that goes back to the customer's always right. Somewhere along the line, there's people that went in there and freaking told everybody, just go in there and bitch and scream. You'll get what you want. And there's professionals that do that shit now.
Absolutely. Now, something I've been thinking, just wondering, I know you say things that most people wish that they wish they could say that, or I'm saying it this way because you communicate honestly and you say these things, and how many times do you break a truth to somebody and they just go with it? Because I say this because a lot of times your guys I'll hear are surprised, or you just got this guy that was complaining about $199 to pay an extra $450, and you've done that a few times when I've been here, where you've got somebody to pay more than what they were bitching about. And so what's that percentage when you just break it down and say, you don't care, you have the confidence, this is the way it is? How many of the people, what percentage of people do you think go forward with it?
I would have to say 99%. I very seldom, if I get involved in selling something, a deal, and my wife can come here and sit next to you, I usually sell it.
Yeah.
I don't do the salesman thing. I agree with them. If I agree with them, if they're right, I agree with them. I don't agree with them if they're wrong, and I tell them the fucking facts. Like that guy, what sense does it make to put a new spindle on? For the people who don't know what a spindle is, your bearings ride on, your wheel turns, okay? They lock up, it twists, you can't get the bearings down, so the wheel won't roll. So we're going to cut that one off and put all new bearings and everything back on this. And then we're going to leave the other 3 all fucked up. What sense does that make? I tell the guy, think about what you're saying to me to try to save X amount of dollars. It's going to cost you 4 times more. You're going to go down the road. And I'm not trying to, I don't scare people. I'm like, this is what could happen. You're nuts by not doing this. You're better off not doing anything and pushing this thing into the freaking, like I said, the river, or throw it in the dumpster or the junkyard, whatever it is. I tell them the truth. And sometimes people really get fucking pissed. Really pissed. But you know what the funny thing is? A lot of times they'll freaking get settled down. They'll usually buy the shit.
Yeah.
My son-in-law, Jonathan, there's a landscape company that came in, and they had a dump truck with a electric hydraulic pump. So it has like an AC compressor clutch on the front of the pump. So you flick it on and the pump would work, and you'd dump it, and you'd have to shut it up. And if you drove it down the road, you would burn the thing up. It would fucking turn blue and melt. Well, he had a new driver, and I put a new one on at the start of the year, and he got a new driver, and it came back 2 weeks later, it was blue. And I told the driver, I said, you fucking drove with this on. And you could watch their body language. She go, no, I didn't. I go, yeah, you fucking did. So Darren was the owner's name. He comes in. He's like, you need a warranty. I said, I'm not warranted. They won't warranty it. He drove with it fucking on. He didn't drive with it on. He fucking told me. I said, what do you think he's going to, the way you act, you think he's going to fucking tell you? So we got in a big argument. I told him to fuck off, take his truck. This was years ago. Fuck off. He'd fuck everybody, including his dog. He was being such an asshole. I said, I'll fix it, but you're paying me. You're paying me for the parts. You're paying for the labor. You're doing it all. You know, he got mad. I told him, fuck off and leave. He called me about a half an hour later, and he said, you were right. I was ranting and raving about you, and he said he may have left it on once or twice. And would you be willing to take care of that for me? I said, absolutely. I stood by what I knew and did not bend.
Yep.
I was willing to lose that customer because think about it. If I would have bent over that time, he knows I'm going to bend over.
Absolutely.
He's still a customer.
Yep.
We'd laugh about. There's been several of them. There's another guy that does concrete that he freaked out about his Isuzu. It needed a turbo, exhaust pan, a bunch of shit. And he came in there and he told my guys on the phone. He left and I ended up coming in. This was a couple of years ago. I ended up coming in and he was there. He's like, I am not spending $8,000 on that truck. And I'm like, well, your estimate's 12. And I went through it. He bought all of everything, all 12 grand. When he walked in the door, he said he wasn't going to buy 8 after I got done with him. And I just don't lie to these people. I tell them this is what you should do. And then they always, the number one thing is, do you think this truck is worth putting the money in? That's what they always ask you. Do you really think it's worth putting this kind of money in? I always say to them, listen, if you were to go buy this truck on the open market, not knowing nothing about it, and put it in your fleet, and it would just automatically work, would you do it for $12,000? What your bill is? Well, yeah, I would do that. I said, you know this truck, you know the history of this truck, you know if this truck's already had, you know everything. If you put 12 grand, you're going to slip it right back into your plate. It's got your plates, your insurance, it's set up for you. What's the downside? And a lot of times we're like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Or I got another customer. He's been a customer of mine for a long time. I made a fuck ton of money off his trucks. They're such pieces of shit. They break every other week. I told him last week, I said, these trucks are getting to the point now where I can't keep fixing them. As much as I want to keep freaking putting my kids through college and everything else with these trucks, he laughs. I go, dude, they're getting to the point where I can't even get parts for them anymore. He's like, I fucking know it. They fucking suck, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I go, when your mechanic tells you he doesn't want to work on your shit, you might want to listen. But, you know, I do have that thing. Like, what you see is what you get with me. I'm brutally fucking honest. And that's the way I sell stuff and everything. And people get butthurt.
But then they call back. And I've
back.
been here where people have called back and they're like, okay, just do it.
Yeah, because I don't like, you know, like the salesy guys, and they start talking all these numbers and I'll give you a discount. I'll do that. I'm like, no, this is my fucking price. I'll do it right. I'll stand behind what I fucking do. And I have a good reputation. You want to do it or not? You know, but that comes with a lot of years of me beating my head against the wall to know my value. Okay. You know, I don't even know I should say this, but I said, fuck it. So we moved into our new house. The neighbors, they checked us out, which we checked them out.
Yeah.
We live, you know, way off into a field. And there's one house on the other end of the field, basically. And they checked us out. They kind of knew who my wife was through bowling. So Jenny, who's my neighbor now, knew a lady that Marilyn bowled with and asked about Marilyn and me. And they already knew who I was because of my podcast. And they have friends that are in the automotive business. So everybody already fucking knew who I was, which is kind of crazy.
It's pretty crazy, yeah.
But they said that Marilyn is a very humble lady. For somebody who has money, she's very, very humble, very down to earth, very nice. Like, you wouldn't know my wife is wealthy. And you've met my wife.
Oh, yeah.
We both were. We dress normal.
Yeah,
we don't walk around like freaking some of these people that think they're wealthy. Like, we don't, you know? And we share what we get with people. You've seen that too.
Yep.
I'm not a greedy ass shop. Like they say all shop owners are greedy. No, that's not fucking true. I don't. I take care of my people, okay? They all, you know, but that comes from standing up for what you believe. And that's where I kind of believe that the customer's not always right. Because if you let your customers run your business, what are you going to get? A customer running your business. Customers don't give a fuck about you.
No. Nope.
You know, you said you've seen it in the cell phone business, you know. They're like, "Will you give me a free cell phone?" Well, somehow or another, we're going to fucking make you pay for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, remember when they first used to put it on they would finance it for $7 a month for a phone for 2 years, and it would come with a case, charger, thick battery, thin battery.
Yeah, no, I remember the whole process and how they changed it. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the other fucking problem we're running into in this business. We have the internet expert. So they come in and they watch all these videos. So they take a bunch of videos that they've watched and they've done all this research. They have a little bit of knowledge on how something works. So they want to come into your shop and tell you how it works and everything. They've already tried it 3 times at their house and it won't work. And the seal they tried to pound in is leaking. This is falling off. But they're going to tell you exactly how you do it and exactly how much it's going to cost you. And if you start pushing back, you have to understand the customer's always right. So you need to fucking listen. Well, once again, here we go. The customer's not always right. It's just your customers will end up respecting if you start looking at them and tell them, no, we're not doing this. We're not putting your parts on. We're not doing this. And this is why. There's different word tracks you can use for people, but we're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're too expensive. You're too expensive. I may be too expensive for you, but look at the other 20 vehicles that are out in my parking lot. I'm not too expensive for them. Every fucking concert has seats everywhere, right? This is a good analogy. It just popped into my head. You got seats that are close to the fucking stage. Them are the guys that'll rip the check, right?
Yep.
Then you got the guys that really wanted to go to the concert, but they don't have enough money, so they sit way up in nosebleed. Same with Tigers game, any sporting, okay?
Yep.
There's seats everywhere at a concert, right?
Yep.
What does that tell you? There's different freaking what is it? What do they call it? Echoes. I don't even remember the word now. The different types of people as far as where they're at.
Echelon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they are money wise or rungs or whatever they want to call it, depending on what religion it is. But you know what I mean? So there's seats everywhere for everybody.
Yep.
So your customers you want close to the front row. Them are the people that are going to give you the least a bit of problems. How much problem do you think I give somebody when I go to buy something? Knowing me, and I go to a professional, they come in and say, here's my price. What do you think happens? I might ask them a couple questions and say, okay, go ahead and do it. It's already in my mind that I'm going to do it. It's just picking the right company to do it. And it's even more surprising to me nowadays that when they actually show up and do it.
Yeah.
And they don't have a hard time. Like Motor City Floors just done 2 floors with me. Every time they hit the fucking nail on the head. They always freaking over fucking deliver every time. Professional, communication, everything. They're great. Okay. Apple Heating and Cooling, when they came and did the thermostats at the house, the new house, them guys came. They did everything that I would have done. Okay. And it's kind of surprising if you guys think about it nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But every one of them guys, I will guarantee you start giving them a hard time, they'll tell you to fucking get lost. Why? Because once again, them people make money and they're professional. They will take care of you. They will bend over backwards. But the minute you start mistreating them or their employees, they're not going to stand for it. And that's how I am.
I think what it comes down to is having a standard for yourself and setting that standard and having that confidence around it. You know what you guys and the service and level of service you provide so you can be confident around that.
Yeah. I'm just looking like to make I'm already way ahead. Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. The decline in the blame customer. So a lot of times you get these customers, that they decline something or you recommend something and something fails and they forget with their short timers that you recommended it. For instance, a tie rod, you recommend a tie rod. You recommend brakes. The brakes are at 10%. The guy forgets about it because he doesn't want to do it. He hits decline. Starts heading up north. It starts grinding. We've had them call us up and say, my truck was just there a month ago. Now their brakes are grinding. What the fuck? 9 times out of 10, my guys will know the customer already. They'll pull up the repair order. If not, and be like, sir, you declined the brakes on this date. That shuts them off. Record keeping is key to keep the bullies off you or the blame customers off you or the customer, I'm the customer's, therefore I am always right, is a good idea to keep the records so you can kind of back up what you say.
That is a really, really good one because you're right. The customer isn't always right. How do you win? And it takes, and you still might get a bad review, but how can they really be pissed off when you have all the evidence there? It's the same thing with the insurance guy and having all the calls and all the things documented. How can they battle it?
Yeah. I actually am an absolute freak about data. We record our phone calls.
Yeah.
Going in and out of the shop. We have emails. We have text message. Our our program geotags them. So we already know their IP. I should say IP addresses. So we have all the stuff. So, like for instance, this old man, when he was giving us a hard time with that motorhome,
Yeah.
and said, I didn't agree to all that. We have the phone call, him agreeing to it. We also have him signing the estimate and sending back and giving us a deposit. So we have a whole trail of that, because I never want to be blamed
Yep.
for something of being a crook when I could look at somebody and go, look, here's all the data right here, and this is what happened.
It was up front.
Because you know as well as I do, customers lie.
Absolutely.
Customers lie. You don't think if you get a customer mad and say you're just a manager and the customer's mad and it makes it up to, say, the owner or the general manager comes in the office, they are going to throw you under the fucking bus as a manager.
Yep.
And if your boss or the owner is a pussy, like a lot of these guys are, they will take the customer side over you, even though you did nothing wrong. How does that make you feel as an employee? What does that do to morale?
Oh, absolutely. Shoots it in the foot. Absolutely.
My guys were laughing. They're like, you're not going to put air in the tires? I go, fuck no, we're not putting air in the tires. Because my thought was, what does that show? What does that show that guy? That guy shows that he can call out, have a temper tantrum, mistreat my people, which I don't mistreat my people. He's going to come into my shop, mistreat my people, yell and scream, not get his own way. He finally got the insurance to give him his own way, right?
Yep.
And then he's going to call my guys and go, yeah, and by the way, would you be so sweet as to put air in my tires? And you know what? My guys would have done it if I told them not, wouldn't tell them not to. When I got here, Jim he's like, I already told him, because I called him that night when it came through. I called him up and I said, we will not be putting air in that man's tires. And it's a matter of principle for me. People on the podcast will be like, you're going to be like, you're a dick. Fuck that guy. He wants to call and act like an asshole and treat people like shit. Fucking go treat people like shit at Bell Tire.
Well, and what I noticed too, it's like the other guy that called up and said, hey, you know what? I was wrong. You have respect for that.
Yeah.
Like if that guy would have called up and been like, you know what? I was an asshole. I'm sorry. I imagine it would have been a different conversation than just avoiding that he was an asshole 3 or 4 times or however many times it was, and then ask for a favor.
I would agree. And you know what? My mind, you've been around me long enough to know my mind does not work that way. Like I don't consider, like if I fuck up, I'm like, ooh, I fucked that up. I don't have a problem like I screwed that up. Like sometimes I get excited to go out to the guys, tell the guys up, just fuck that up. Not because I think it's great, because I think it's important to them to know that I don't think I'm better than everybody, and I want to hide it when I fuck up. Yeah, I fucked it up. So what? I'm human. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
My wife has that big thing with me where like, you're never wrong. I'm fucking wrong a lot. I just have to make more decisions. Think about it. If you make 2 decisions a week, you have a 50-50 chance of being wrong.
Absolutely.
I make 300 decisions. By statistics, I'm going to be wrong more than you.
5,000%.
I have to make decisions on the fly all day long, every day.
Yep.
So if you think about it, I'm making decisions. So my decisions are a lot more than her decisions. You know what I mean? And a lot of times my wife, when she has a big decision, who she comes to. And we talk about the decision, so we kind of come to the decision together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it piles on to the amount of decisions you have to make.
Yeah. So you go back to this all comes down to standing by your people. Now, what if one of your employees does something wrong? Do you throw them under the bus in front of the customer? No.
No. And I've seen this happen where leaders have managers or whatever. People have said, oh, my guy, this sucks. And then the thing it does is it magnifies the mistake that you made. It magnifies that you have shitty people. And what happens is they come in and they do business with you again. And they're like, oh, well, I think so-and-so messed up. They start now equating and trying to get discounts and stuff because you threw that person under the bus. It just trains them just like you're training your people now.
Yeah. There's been times where I necessarily don't like how something was handled at my shop, and the customer be standing there and say, this has happened, and this is why, or this is what, and I look at it and I think to myself, yeah, I wouldn't have handled that way, but I don't stop and go, oh yeah, Mr. Customer, you're right. This guy's a fucking idiot. He shouldn't have did that. I think that's a conversation that I should have behind closed doors with that customer.
Absolutely.
So at that point, I'll be like, okay, figure it out, fix it, whatever we do, and then say, hey, you might not want to do it that way. The word track, like yesterday, Monday, Phil wasn't there, and Lincoln answered the phone. He was a fucking asshole. And I could tell the guy was going to waste his time, and Lincoln could tell the guy was going to waste his time, but Lincoln was a fucking dick.
Yeah.
And I said, Lincoln, you're being an asshole. Because the guy basically said, and I got to take it for what it's worth. A lot of these guys call, yo, I have a 26-foot box truck. And you're like, okay, how much you put a roof on it? And you're like, fuck, what kind of fucking box truck is it? Is it a box on the truck? If it's a Freightliner, it doesn't mean it's a Freightliner fucking box. It could have a Morgan, a Supreme, a fucking Mickey, whatever.
Yeah.
So a lot of these guys don't understand that. My guys are just like, oh my God. Because they get this call 100 times. And it's a waste of fucking time. You know? So Lincoln's like, what kind of box truck? And I'm like, I'm like, just tell the guy you can't help him because he's a fucking wasting our time. But I'm like, you sound like a fucking asshole. And he's like, oh, you know, and I'm like, pull up the fucking phone call. And he's like, yeah, I sound like an asshole. Now, if I would have started yelling at him on the phone, the guy on the other end of the phone go, what the fuck is going on over
What the fuck
there?
is going on?
So I don't throw my guys under the bus, and I don't expect them, you know what I mean, to take shit from customers. And if a customer really gets irate or something like that, a lot of times they'll handle it. Or they'll get Jason if I'm not there, and Jason will get rid of the customer. Like, listen, you come in here, you're yelling, you're hollering. Like, we didn't design it, we didn't engineer it, we didn't freaking build it, we don't sell the parts, we don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't. This is
You didn't break it.
we didn't break it. We're just the guys here you brought it to. We're the guys, unfortunately, that have to give you the bad news, and you're mad and screaming at us. What is this going to fucking do? You know.
It's so funny because, again, you think about going to the doctor and doctors tell you that you're dying of cancer and you never have somebody screaming at them like, it's your fault. Like, why are you delivering this news to me? But you can scream and yell at the mechanic.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It doesn't equate. It's so crazy.
But you think about it, though, it's like you go to Best Buy and there might be a Karen fucking screaming and yelling at their fucking kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
no.
what
Yeah.
are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
Yelling at an 18-year-old kid that he's passing through.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's literally passing through. It's like yelling at the kid at McDonald's.
Yep.
And this goes just a little bit of a side thing. I had an argument with a guy, and he's like, fucking people at McDonald's, they need to make fucking $15 an hour. I said, you're going to get fucking $30 hamburgers. I said, do you realize if a guy makes $9 an hour and he's putting cheese on the cheeseburgers or forgets to put cheese on the cheeseburgers, you think if you pay him 15, he's going to remember to put cheese on the cheeseburgers? No, we are dealing with a kid that's started out. McDonald's was a job that was designed for freaking kids, basically, okay? It's set up for young people getting a grasp on the workplace and getting structure and all that stuff like that.
Yep.
You're not going to change people by paying them more money, okay? So firing the customers, this is where most shoppers, I already talked about, most shops owners get uncomfortable. They think they're going to lose revenue. Here's the better question. I like this part of it, okay? What if they keep costing you money because they think they're more than they're worth?
Mm-hmm.
What if them people are a mental suck on your people? Think about this. Think about a customer that you had at the cell phone shop when you seen that motherfucker pull up. And I can give you, in your business, the cell phone business, I could tell you who you people hate when you're on commission. The old people with the cane with their AT&T bill. And they come walking in, excuse me, my bill, $3.53 more than it was last month. Can you help me? And you know, if you get a bad review, you're fucked, right?
Yeah, she's probably not leaving a review, though.
So you're sitting there going to have to help these people, and you're watching everybody else selling iPhones and selling this, and you're over there with Miss McGillicuddy. Okay, so we all have that customer. So what about that customer that has the absolute piece of shit car that comes back every other month because you didn't freaking tell them to buy in my back things, it was a Ford Probe. They were the biggest piles of shit around. They were there every other fucking week in the shop. Loved them. But goddamn, I don't know how some of them people afforded them.
Mm-hmm.
The repairs over and over and over again, right?
Oh, yeah.
So them are the people like, hey, I was here last week. Can I get a discount? Hey, this since you did this, this is what's going on. Them are the people that tax your people, and they take more time than a guy that walks in and says, yep, I'm pretty good with that estimate. Go ahead and do it. When can I have it back? I can have it back. It's Monday. I can have it back to you Thursday. Thanks a lot. I'll get a car. I'll work it out. They're cool. You don't hear from them. You call them. They're appreciative. They pay you, away they go.
Yep.
Versus the guy that calls you every few minutes. And guess what? If you say the wrong thing, he's going to pull the old, you're rude to me. What are you going to do for me now? Because I'm the customer and I'm always right.
Yep.
We've
Yeah.
always had them people.
Yeah. And we get to choose as business owners who we do business with, which I think is the most important thing to realize. You can fire your customers. You can fire the bad ones. Get the bad ones out. You don't have to be the people dealing with bankruptcy clients. You know, like you don't have to deal with the scums of the earth. Get them out.
Yeah.
Fire them.
Yeah. What they do is they distract your team from serving your great customers.
Yeah.
You're over here dealing with this asswipe for, say, half hour when I could have been dealing with a customer that really cares about his car maintenance and everything else and making my life easy. He would have just bought the shit, been happy, and gone on with his life.
And you know what the easiest way to fire a customer is? Charge them a lot of money.
Yeah.
I had a client the other day. She was like, "Man, this person keeps asking me all these questions, and I want to tell her that I charge a coaching fee to sit down with all these questions." I'm like, "So do it." She was like, "What will happen?" I'm like, "What's the worst that could happen? What if she stops? What if you say it and she stops talking with you?" She was like, "I'd be glad." I'm like, "So throw it out there." She's like, "How much?" I say, "Tell her it's $300 to sit down with you, for 30 minutes." And so she did, and the lady ended up hiring her.
Yeah, exactly. So this goes back to how I sell stuff. What the good customers actually want. It's pretty simple. They want honesty. They want communication. They want competence. They want reliability. Think about that. You go to a shop, your check engine light's on. It's misfiring. They say, drop it off at 8 o'clock. We'll get you checked out. We'll get you an estimate. You show up to our training video that's coming out someday.
It's almost done.
Communication's great. The reception's great when you walk in. How you doing? Would you like a cup of coffee? We have a coffee machine. It's clean. It smells nice in there. You're greeted. We tell you what's going to happen. We set the table. We're very professional. We say you're going to get a link. You're going to approve the diag. You leave. Sure as shit, you're on your way to work. Ding. Diag. Yep, approved. I feel pretty good about that. A couple hours later, hey, the mechanic drove your car. Look at this. We found a fucking cracked spark plug. There's a picture of the spark plug. It was a misfire, but what we did notice is all your other spark plugs are kind of worn out. We can do a full tune-up on this thing, an induction cleaning, and we could have it wrapped up by 3 o'clock. We don't give a time. Let me stop. We could have it wrapped up this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
He says, oh, man, look at the pictures. He does it, all that stuff. Boom. In the afternoon, he gets a phone call. Hey, your car's ready. Man, I don't get off work till 5 o'clock. You close at 4. Not a problem. We're going to send you a link over. You can go ahead and pay right there. We have a Dropbox. Once you pay, we'll go ahead and give you a little code. Your keys will be in there. There you go. He pulls up to get his car at night. There's an air freshener. His car is clean. His invoice is on the paid invoice is on the seat. He gets in his car, vroom, it starts up and goes down the road. Now, that would be the perfect.
VIP.
That would be right. That would be perfect. Now, we forgot that the car got ran into after we left. All kinds of shit. But my point is that whole experience, how do you think he's going to feel about that?
Oh, he's going to feel great. He's going to tell his friends.
He's going to feel great, right? Now, let's go ahead and put it to the guy that's a pain in the fucking ass. He comes in, everything's the same. He doesn't like the coffee because you fucking have Tim Hortons and he's a Starbucks guy, so he's bitching about that. He doesn't like this. He doesn't like that. You give him the reception. He doesn't like the price. He starts freaking, can I get a discount on the diag? He already gets your guys on edge. No, we can't give you a diag. Discount on diag. It's an hour. He gets mad. At that point, we're going to send you a link. Why can't I fucking do it right now, sir? We still got to check your vehicle in, do this and stuff like that. On the way to work, he's got a freaking 1962 fucking phone. The link comes through. It won't work. He's pissed off about that. Just because the guy was already pissed off about the coffee is where it all started. He's just going to keep going with being the pissed off thing.
Yep.
And then we finally get the diag after he calls us back 3 times just to tell us how unfortunate it is that he has to actually go through this and accept this and this. And this is just such a pain in his ass. And this is horrible. I'm wasting his time. He does that. We call him back later. We say, this is what we found. I can't open the picture because once again, he's still pissed off about the coffee. He's just a difficult, miserable fuck. Right? And then he doesn't like this and he doesn't like that. And you tell him, hey, we found the spark plug, like we said, but you can't look at the picture. It's cracked. We can show you when you get here. Of course. Yeah. Okay. Well, we probably should do an induction clean and replace the spark plug. Just got a lot of money. I don't want the flush. You're just trying to rip me off. I'm going to go ahead. I go ahead and do the one spark plug. I don't want the rest of the spark plugs. This is fucking ridiculous. So you say, okay, you decline this. We did the one spark plug, blah, 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 blah. He goes a month later, the spark plugs that were kind of borderline worn out anyway, that I didn't say about, starts misfiring again. Guess what happens? He goes online, just had my vehicle worked here, 1-star review, fucking month later, it's doing the same exact thing. You had no chance with that customer. None whatsoever. Them are the kind of people we don't want. And we all have them. They're miserable. Where did the term Karen or Kevin come up? From fucking people being fucking assholes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's gotten worse.
Oh, yeah.
This entitlement bullshit is out of fucking control. I mean, people are so entitled, it's unbelievable. They think that you want to come to work and do shit for free. Like the big thing here at this stuff, it really surprises me when people bring their trailer in, they're like, will you check my brakes? And we're like, yeah, it's, an hour for us to jack it up, pull it off. You're going to charge me? Like, what the fuck do you mean am I going to charge you? Do you go to work for free? Do I call my guys and go, yo, hey, I need you to clock out, even though you get paid hour, I need you to clock out for this hour because I really can't charge a customer, therefore I'm not going to pay you. How long do you think I'd have employees?
People don't think about, like, you're paying these couple guys to come out, put the car up. Like, you're paying them all that time. They don't think about it.
No, and do you think that for 1 minute when you go into Target or anywhere where there's tissue or there's this or there's that in the hospitals, we'll use U of M. There's tampons in all the bathrooms, boys and girls. But my point is, who do you think pays for them tampons and shit? Do you think they're free when everybody's stuffing them in their pockets because their bathrooms are have an overabundance of them?
No, it's added into the healthcare cost. Yeah.
Right.
It's good. It's added into your procedure. You're paying the tampon fee and your procedure.
Right. And it's just like people think stuff going back to the thing is free and then the customer's always right. You know, it's just like we have fostered this bullshit. Like, one thing is like my daughter's boyfriend, he has a little construction company. And he has to come back. Some people want him to come back 2 or 3 times. I go, what do you do? He's like, well, I go back. I need the work. I go, I'd fucking tell him, I'm coming one fucking time. If you don't accept my fucking quote right there, I'll figure it out. I'll go out to my truck and figure it out while I'm sitting here. If you don't accept it then, if I come back, it's going to cost you.
Absolutely.
Well, you're going to charge me? Do you fucking drive around for free? Gas is $5 or diesel fuel $6 a gallon. Lincoln does a transportation fee.
Absolutely. I had an interior design client that would go out and she wasn't charging for a design fee and she'd go out there and spend a couple hours and she was just driving to wherever they were at, sitting in their living room and wasting 2 hours. And she started charging. And guess what? Her conversion rate went up. She stopped getting people that were wasting her time, taking up her time because they wanted her to come out and give them a free consultation so they could take her ideas and go do it themselves or go pay their friend to go do it, versus finding the clients that were like, oh, you charge $500 to come out? Awesome. Like, boom. Guess what? Her conversion rate went to 90%.
Yeah. Think about this. You're calling an interior designer, decorator, whatever. That is a rich man's service. Would you not agree? Or somebody that thinks they have money, right? Yeah. You expect somebody to come out there for free? And when they do come out there for free, what is that telling you? If somebody tells me, if I called somebody, I said I knew curtains at my house.
Yep. And you're willing to come out for free.
And they're willing to come out for free, I'd be like, you're going to come out and design all this shit? You're not going to charge me a dime? I'd be like, yeah, fuck that. They're broke.
Yep.
I literally would. I'd be like, yeah, fuck, I'm not happening.
Yep.
Instead, I'm like, I had, there's a plethora of shit wrong with my new house, like just not maintenance shit, like the refrigerator lights weren't working on the one side. So I called the refrigerator place, and they're like, the one lady was kind of a fucking bitch about it. You do realize there's a $199 charge for us to come out, okay? My refrigerator's fucking the size of a goddamn baseball field. I fucking think I could afford it. When I said, oh, you have that model, she's like, you have that model in your house? I didn't fucking put it there. All I'm telling you, the fucking lights don't work.
Yeah.
But she acted like I was bothered. I said, you know what, lady, obviously this is too much for you, and I fucking hung up. And I called another place. So they're like, yep, we can come out. It's $249.99 for the first hour. That includes a drive time and everything like that. And if he could take care of it right there while he's there for that, in that $249, we'll take care of it. If not, we'll give you a written estimate, and you can accept right there on the spot. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm like, when can you come out? Oh, it'll be 2 weeks. So fuck that. So I ended up fixing it myself. But my point was, they went up $50, and I didn't have a problem with it because the lady was like, this is what we'll do.
Yep.
They built value into it. I didn't start pushing back like being the customer that's always right and giving the lady a hard time. Well, you need to change your schedule. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do that. And I think sometimes all these corporations are so afraid of the bad review and the customer's always right. They're so strict on their rules and how they explain stuff to people. It pisses people off like me.
Mhm.
Like they're accusatory, like you're trying to rip them off right before you even get there. Like they can't look at you and go, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do you know what I mean? Like, we're going to do this and kind of build some value. And they don't do that. It's really weird.
It is really weird. People don't know how to build value in what they're doing at all.
Yeah, it's just, I don't get it. And, that goes back to the customer's always right. These stores, how many times, like, you go to Best Buy or Target and you see somebody giving them a hard time and, like, they're bending over backwards and there's no matter what I sit there, when I see it going on, I sit there and linger because I always want to see how they're going to de-escalate it. And I'm thinking to myself,
I love it too. Yeah.
they're fucked.
Yep.
No matter what this manager says, they're fucked. This guy already has in his mind he's getting something for free dinner, free what. It's kind of like my aunt. Every fucking time she's known to go out to dinner,
Oh shit.
they could set soup down that's fucking on fire, and the spoon is glowing red, and they set it down. Soup's cold. Like they bitch automatically. They bitch. It's kind
Yeah.
of like when Dale Carnegie talks about in one of his books that they used to take people to dinner and see if they took the salt before they took a bite.
Yeah.
They're already before they even took a bite, they're salting the shit out of it.
Yep.
Not even trying it.
Yep.
And, they already had the preconceived notion that didn't have enough salt in it. And it's kind of like the cold soup. And then people always go for, oh, this is no good. I need a discount. Or do you ever go to dinner with somebody that says, hey, I'm going to have the chicken finger. How many, is that a big portion for that $8.99 or how many fries? Does it come with a lot of food? Like you're sitting there going, oh my God, this is already a problem. Think about it.
Problem.
That, that just kind of goes to show you, and statistically, the people that start asking them questions are already fucking saying, hey, I'm a problem. Them are the same people. If you watch this, I'm going to say this to everybody out there. Start watching this. When you go to order, there's two different types of personalities. When you go to order, guys like me will go, I'll have X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
They don't go, is it this or that? I'll have
Not
this.
questionable. Yeah.
Right?
Not
Then there's the
questionable.
people, can I have this?
Ooh.
And how many fries come? Them are the people that are already a fucking problem. Them are the two types of personalities. Now watch your wife and your kids. And
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
You're going to watch it. You're going to be like, holy fuck.
I love this human study shit.
My wife, when we go to dinner, I watched it a while ago. My wife says, can I have? I'm like, yeah, I'll have this, this, and this. And Lincoln, I'll have this, this, and this. Mia, I'll have, or can I?
Can I?
You're at a fucking restaurant or they're selling shit. Certainly you could have it. But
Do you have money? Yeah, you can have it.
right. But them people, like I watch it all the time. It's like these people have to give away dessert all the time because of this fostered belief that the customer's always right. Think about it. You go to Outback. Oh, how was everything? They literally go around and they fucking bait people like they're master baiters. Like literally. Do you ever go to Outback and they go around, the manager has to go table to table? How is everything? Well, I wasn't happy with this. I wasn't happy. Dessert for you. Go to the next table. How was everything? Oh, the bread was a little stale. Dessert for you. They literally go out and seek out fucking problems they wouldn't even had.
Wouldn't even add. Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
I can understand maybe the corporate's thinking, well, we can go and ask before we get the bad review. But what does that foster?
What I love is you talk about this. You don't see many people, and this is just the way that shit service is. You see a lot of these managers that like will go around and ask, "How's everything? Great." But they're not even listening to what you're saying. They're already walking to the next table and already asking the next table how everything's going. They're not even listening. So they're going through and asking the question, but they're not even stopping and listening. So first off, bad question because it's just baiting a complaint. But they don't even care. They're just hitting the tables. They're not listening.
Yeah, and then you do realize now that statistically, I don't remember, I read it the other day somewhere in a blurb, that restaurants don't give free meals hardly anymore. They're giving desserts away because they could not afford to keep giving all the free meals away,
Oh, I bet.
the comp meals.
Yeah.
Because they're going around going, oh, how was your steak? Well, it was this. Oh, fuck it. Don't worry about it. We'll just go ahead and waive that $30. We'll just go ahead and waive that $30. And what ends up happening now, nobody ever takes this into consideration. When they were taking that steak off, and they were taking this off. What was happening to that bill? It was getting smaller, right? And how do waitresses get paid?
On the size of the bill.
On the size of the bill.
Yeah.
So the waitress does everything right, but the back end is not doing what they're supposed to because management's not doing their job. And the waitress just got fucking dicked out of $10 out of 10 tables. She just went $100 down that night because we are always thinking the customer's right. We're giving them free shit.
Just jacked your flat rate tack.
You just jack your flat rate tack. But, right?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
It's like everywhere you go, the customer's always right. It's costing these corporations so much money. If these corporations, think about how many corporations do you see on the news and our bullshit woke ass fucking news now going, Jason Tracy was at Outback the other night and he got sterling service and he gave a 5-star review. They don't do any of that.
No, they look for the bad shit.
You realize that Chick-fil-A is closed Sunday. Even though their whole company was built by a Christian, it has Christian belief, they are closed on. They always go for the worst.
Yep.
But think about this. Chick-fil-A does not have customer service problems.
Oh, they don't. No.
And they don't bend on their fucking beliefs.
The first time I waited in line for Chick-fil-A, I thought it was the most ridiculous thing in the world to wait in that long of a line, but I was so impressed with how quickly it moves. Like they've just got a process down.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, if you really stop and think about it, these places that don't back up for their customers don't have customer problems.
Absolutely. Well, going back to the very beginning of this episode, you talked about the insurance guy. Was it David? Who's the guy?
Danny.
Little Danny boy. That's right, Danny boy.
Danny boy.
Danny boy. So you talked about him. He shot himself in the foot.
Yep.
He literally, you guys set the expectation. The customer was fine. He went and said, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll get it taken care of for you. You don't have to pay for it." He's the one that created the whole entire problem by dropping his pants and offering a discount that he didn't need to offer.
Yeah, and I know the funny thing is, another progressive adjuster called on another job, and he told we talked to him. We were talking about something, and he said, "Yeah, I'll work with you. You guys are always great. You guys are always fair. You always want to do shit the right way. You're not hacks.
Yeah.
So I'll make it work." And Jim says, "Funny you say that." And then he told him what happened. He's like, "Yeah, he opened his mouth and shot himself in the foot." He said he should have kept his mouth shut. He said the customer would have been happy. Everybody would have been happy. But instead, it was a big, huge fight because he didn't know when not to talk.
Yep.
And I will tell you this, a couple weeks ago, I had an insurance adjuster call me, and one came in for us, and it was clearly there was a lack of maintenance. The roof fucking leaked. The guy did not caulk it, did not do anything. And he called, the insurance company called up, the adjuster called up and said, "Kevin, what do you guys think of that?" I said, "I think the guy did not maintain his trailer. It got a fucking water leak, and it got mold, and I don't think this is the insurance thing. This was a lack of maintenance." He said, "I wish more shops were honest like you." The customer called and said, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" I said, "There ain't nothing fucking wrong with me. What's wrong with you?" And he said, "You're being a fucking smartass." I go, "Dude," "you did not take care of your trailer. It leaked, got mold in it, and you're lying. They're not stupid, number one. And number two, I'm not stupid. And I'm not lying for you. I'm not interested in insurance fraud like you are." Obviously, that says loads about your character. The insurance company totaled it. We got a little bit of storage out, and the guy went away. But he hated us. I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I was not going to sit there and lie. And that goes back into integrity. And that goes back into the customer's not always right. The customer's sitting there lying to me. I'm supposed to lie for him because the customer's always right. I had another guy. This was a couple years ago. It was an Arabic guy. He had a white Volvo. It got hit at the truck stop. They backed into it. They started at the right headlight. They went right down, hit the fuel tank, hit the sleeper, and everything. You could literally see the crease. He got hit with a Landau trailer, which we all know the Landau zero-gravity trailers, when you tilt them, they have a fucking point at the back. It's like it went right down that thing like a can opener, right? So it fucked this truck all the way up, all the way past the sleeper, the fairing and everything. But up above, in the sleeper, there's a dent going the other way. So he said, "Well, that happened too." I said, "No, it fucking did."
No, it did.
And I said, "I'm going to tell you right now, the door hinges being worn out on this thing. You're saying that was from the guy hitting it. It was hit below the door, so the door was not even fucked up, not even hit." I said, "And the dent going the wrong way or the crease going the wrong way, like that you hit something backing up into a loading dock, you're a liar. You need to get off. You need to get off your high horse, acting like you're better than me." I said, "I'm not acting like I'm better than you, but I'm not a fucking liar like you." And he ended up coming, picking up the truck, telling me to fuck off. Why do I tell these people this? I don't bend on my integrity. I don't lie.
Yeah.
I don't have to lie. That's the bottom line. And the customer's not always right. If he's going to sit there and lie to my face, what does that say about him? Do I want to do business with a guy that fucking lies to my face?
No, because he's setting the stage for what he's going to do to you.
He thinks you're fucking retarded. Like you're sitting there looking, and all the creases are going that way, and there's a dent this way, and the door hinge bushings are worn out and hanging there. You don't think any adjuster from the insurance company is going to come out and go, and I'm going to try to sell that to him? Go, well, look, the door hinges got worn out because the flatbed went back and forth 360,000 times and wore out the bushings in the door. And when he got all done, he drove to the end of the parking lot, raised his trailer 8 feet in the air, and backed up and hit the guy. Like,
what an asshole.
What an asshole that did all. Like, I'm not going to get into that. Like, I don't need to get into that. And that all goes back to the fact that I do not bend. My wife says, you're so fucking black and white. It drives me nuts. Either there's right or there's wrong. I don't really, and I hate these managers. And you've heard this term. Well, I work in the, we have policies, but I work in the gray area.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the gray area? Is that in the middle? Is like there's right and there's wrong? In the middle, is there kinda? Like, can you be kinda pregnant? Like, either, think about this. Are you pregnant? Yes or no?
I'm in the gray
No,
area.
I work in the gray area. I'm kinda pregnant. What the fuck does that even mean? I don't even, like, my mind does not even grasp what kinda. Like, you set rules for a reason, right? There's either yes or no. Pregnant, yes or no. I work in the gray area, kinda. Like, that doesn't work for me. Guys that like me in my mind don't work. That doesn't work for me. And maybe, you know what, guys? Maybe in the next year, everything will go bad in my businesses and I'll go out of business and I'll be bankrupt and I'll have to go work for somebody. I don't know. But I'm not saying that, like, you know what I mean?
It's not going to bend your integrity, though.
Right. But I'm still not going to change the way I am.
Yeah. Yep.
Take it or leave it. There's a lot of guys that like me online, a lot of guys that fucking hate me online. Guys that hate me online, you fucking suck. You should be more like me and you'd be happier. I don't know, but...
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Repair Shop Reckoning. If this helped you, please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. We drop real conversations, real systems, and real solutions every week. We'll see you back here next time on Repair Shop Reckoning.